Hello everybody, and welcome back to another World of Tanks video. Today we're taking a look at the replay sent in by Korsakoff, and as you can see he's platooned up with myself and Nathaniel. Now me and Korsakoff are in our T-43s, the Tier 7 Russian medium tank, or Soviet medium tank I should say. And Nathaniel is in his Tier 7 German tank destroyer, the Jagdpanther. Now the reason he is in a tank destroyer and we are in a medium tank is because we have already played our tank destroyers and Nathaniel currently only have one Tier 7 tank, and that's his Jagdpanther. And to make matters a little bit more uncomfortable for Nathaniel, he only has a stock gun, which is the short 88. We all feel for him. Anyway, today is going to be more or less about Korsakoff, and you'll see me and Nathaniel fly through on a few occasions. But yeah, we're going to make our way towards the west initially, all the way towards the western road, and we're going to try and see what we can do there. I storm on ahead. We are on Pilsen, by the way. It's a 50-50 chance of winning this match. And yeah, we're going to have a big impact with top tier tanks, and as far as I can tell we're among the better players of our team, at least statistically speaking, so we should have our impact. Or this game is pretty much lost. First tank that gets spotted is an Su-100 who is in the middle, together with our Su-100. Then we spot the Skoda T-43. Korsakoff takes a quick shot on the move, doesn't connect, which is understandable. And we decide to just rush him. Take him out quickly before he can have an impact. I take my shot, and the Skoda has an autoloader. He fires 2 shots. 3 shots I should say, and then we have all the time in the world to take him out. We took 3 shots of course, which is about 300 damage I believe. And yeah, that's one entire medium tank taken out Tier 6, which is of course very nice indeed. Now, I make my way into the building and immediately spot an M6 and get myself into a bit of trouble. But for now I'm okay. I can get hulled down behind this door. I don't think my good friend in the M6 knows that this is destructible cover, and I'm completely and utterly enjoying every moment of it. So I'm telling Korsakoff, no, just when you can help me that's fine, but take out the tank if you can. The Oni falls back, which means the M6 is the next target. Korsakoff mentions this to me, and we together decide to take out the M6. We are going to try and get into a flanking position and do some good here. We see the M6, take a shot. M6 does not quite shoot back, and when he does, he doesn't even shoot remotely in the right position. KV-1 is around the corner, a bit of a hopeless position. And I'm trying to bait another shot. Unfortunately Korsakoff mistakes this for me pulling back, and he accidentally takes a shot at my the back of my turret. It's unfortunate, but yeah, it was my own fault I think. Can definitely understand now looking back on Korsakoff's movements here that he thought this was a me pulling back. Would have been logical too, so yeah. Tires take a shot at the lower plate of the Oni, not really having a lot of luck. Now me and Korsakoff decide to hide behind the rack of this M6 and see if we can bait a stupid shot from this Oni. Unfortunately a stupid shot wasn't all that stupid, and he actually connects. So I decide to make my way around, and together we can have a bit of a squeeze going. Nathaniel is firing on one end, I'm firing at the other, and Korsakoff is firing from in front. Unfortunately the artillery takes out Nathaniel, not really much we can do about it though. And there we have Korsakoff taking out the Oni. Now this game is getting rather close, and Korsakoff is getting a little bit itchy about this, and yeah, I think it's right about at this time I decides to load APCR. This is because he wants to win the match and he thinks it's getting a bit clutch, not because he actually thinks he needs it for this tank. He probably timed this a bit badly. He would probably be better off waiting with that APCR until after he killed it, and he readily admits this too. In the email he sent me this, he was like, yeah, I used a lot of excess APCR here, it wasn't necessary on this tank. I mean, it's AFK, and would actually have been a lot better for his credit making if he hadn't in fact used all that APCR. Typical. Do damage or penetrate. Critical hit, no damage, and doesn't take his tracks off. That always annoys me, something fierce. But here the Su-122S is stuck. Me and Korsakoff are taking some shots at him, and we are able to take him out. Now he's going to make his way towards the cap circle, trying to do something about it. Unfortunately, a random T-50 or a AT-15A shows up, and I'm in all sorts of trouble because I really can't dodge him. He came out around the corner on the worst possible moment, and he takes me out. So it's now just Korsakoff versus, well, a fair few enemy tanks still. Luckily we're not in too bad of a position. We still have the numerical advantage, even if that's only one now. KV-85 is engaging as well. Unfortunately the gun of this tank is now pointing directly at the KV-85. Korsakoff moves forwards, gets a bit closer and takes one other shot at this track of the AT-15, hoping to keep him tracked whilst he gets around and gets some very nice shots into the rear, which is always very satisfying with these kind of tank destroyers. So there we go. AT-15 taken out. What is left? E-25, T-34-85 and the Leopard. And one enemy tank is currently made its way into the cap circle. He drove out immediately. Unfortunately the KV-85 gets taken out by the T-34-85 on the enemy team, which now puts in a very meaty shell into Korsakoff as well. Korsakoff pulls back a little bit and gets a return shell in. T-34-85 is still there, so Korsakoff continues to aim. He thinks he won't move forwards now, but as we can see the T-34-85 is ready for more, and unfortunately a catastrophically low roll. If that roll would have simply just done full damage, this game might have just had a very different kind of outcome. But unfortunately the T-25 is behind him now as well, and he has to deal with this tank. Turns around, gets a lucky hit in on this E-25, gets closer as quickly as he can. Then the next shot flies over. Unfortunately bad luck here. Gets another shot in this E-25 and Korsakoff finally finishes him off. He's on 8 kills, T-34-85 is on a slither of his health. And Korsakoff is going to make his way back, trying to deal with this T-34-85. Slowly but steadily he makes his way forwards, inches around the corner, and unfortunately the T-34-85 is already waiting for him. So 8 kills, 3,809 damage done, and it's still not quite enough to get into this position where he just flat out wins. But this game is not over. There's one in the cap circle already from our team, a Skoda T-25, and there's an artillery piece quite close. If he gets into the cap circle as well, there's a very good chance they might still win this. The Skoda T-25 needs to kill the T-34-85 when it shows up. That's the big pressure point here. Now the Su-8 actually makes a half decent decision here and gets in front of the Skoda, hoping to deal with this Skoda quickly, or at the very least hoping that, not dealing with the Skoda, but the T-34-85 would take a shot at him instead of the Skoda. Unfortunately the T-34-85 makes the sensible decision and is shooting at the Skoda, and at this point they can't really win it anymore. Which is of course extremely unfortunate, and the T-25 actually gets taken out. Now the Su-8 is able to deal with the T-34-85 after that, but unfortunately it's just not enough. And the Leopard on the enemy team actually wins it for them by capping out. So yeah, quite the heartbreaker here for Korsakoff. He actually says so in chat, 4k damage, 8 kills, and we still lose. So let's just take a look at the post-game stats and let's see what happened here. So what an unfortunate loss indeed for Korsakoff. A 1100 WNH rating was easily an ace tanker for him. And yeah, he did get a Radley Walters medal for this Herculean effort, I would say, because as we can see he came well on top on damage done. The only person who got close was actually me, and yeah, I might have just lived if I had not made the silly mistake where Korsakoff shot me in the back off. It's unfortunate, but not really much we can change about it. Yeah, but the rest of our team really didn't do that much. The A44 was only able to fire one shot and it was actually a low roll, which is quite unfortunate. Now, Nottingham didn't really do that much, but that's not that strange considering that he actually still mostly stuck. But we can actually see a fair few tanks on the team did nothing at all. The enemy team players did a great deal better. The E-25 of course did well, the T-34-85 also did well, and the Oni on that team as well. He got into a very dominant position, and yeah, until we took him out he pretty much already had he had already done the damage he needed to. This AT-15 didn't do super much, but he did enough, and which was taking me out of the game and apparently 2 other tanks. So yeah, this Rekin in this Leopard actually won the game for his team. quite clutch, I might say. If he had moved in together with his friend the E-25, he might have just lost this game. But yeah, he didn't, and Korsakoff lost the game instead. So yeah, quite the heartbreaker. But I hope you enjoyed this game nonetheless. We can see that yeah, he was quite accurate with his shots. 5 shots missed, which were mostly on the move. A few of them didn't penetrate, mostly against the Oni. Did a very large amount of damage, almost 4,000, which is really a lot in a yeah, in a tier 7 match. He received a grand total of 1100 damage, and he blocked a little bit with his armor as well, which is always nice. Doesn't really have the armor to do so, the T-43, but yeah, he bounced one shot. Should be happy about this. Still made a profit though, and because he was able to do so much damage, he actually yeah, so much damage, and of course also got these medals, the heroic medals. He did get a courageous resistance bonus, which meant that for this fight he got experience as if it was a normal win. And yeah, 2000 experience is nothing to laugh at, so congratulations at least on that much, Korsakoff. You played very well, and I'm only sad that I was unable to support you more than I did, because then this might have just been a win, and how nice would that have been? Might have just even gotten 10 kills, which would have been very nice, but oh well, we couldn't, and yeah. For those of you watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next one.